just a solid note. All right, what are we doing tonight?
I think I can only stay on for half an hour because I have a lot of homework tonight, but we'll see.
That's fine. Whatever you need.
Okay.
I have no problem.
I was wondering, or I would like to do some ACC work tonight because I know it's coming up.
Okay. Yeah, that's coming up at the end of April, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks away. Or no, actually it might be after this. Yeah, it's the weekend after the next.
Have we done ACT before? Do I have a file?
Yeah, we did some.
Yeah, let's see here. I got a note. We got through number 7 on test 1. So let's pick up from there. Let's go straight to 8. Oops, hold on. So the best way to do 8 is to not try to take a shortcut on it. In other words, fill it in exactly. So what should I write?
-3 squared.
Well, it's got to be
9.
in parentheses because that would be different than this. This is -9. This is +9.
Mm-hmm.
So the parentheses are real important.
Okay.
Okay, so it's -3 squared minus what?
Minus 6 times -3.
Right. Let's just write it fully out like that first.
18, yeah.
And then we can simplify it. But this is the step that I would not skip. I would not try to do some of this in your head because they're messing with you here with these minus signs. So this becomes 9. What's this become?
That becomes -18.
Negative times negative becomes +18.
Oh yeah, -6. Okay.
Now -18. So that cancels with that, and we get 9 as an answer.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's very simple as long as you don't try to skip that step of plugging stuff in. And when you're plugging stuff in, especially a negative number, always use parentheses. It's always the safest way. Do you know what absolute value means? That's what that sign is.
We learned it a long time ago, but I don't really remember exactly.
What's the absolute value of -13?
13?
In other words, it's whatever the number is without the sign. The absolute value of +13 is also 13.
Okay.
Okay? So, what is the absolute value of 1 minus a, which in this case they're saying is 12?
So then that would be 12. Or wait, 1 minus 12. Oh, so that would be 11.
Good. Okay, I got AB equal to C, and I also have C equal KB. And they want to know what K is. Don't worry about that right there. That's just a statement that says neither B nor C can be equal to 0, which will be critical for solving this. How do I solve this? If AB equals C and C equals KB, what can I write?
Well, then I would just plug in the C.
Well, if two things are both equal to C, then this thing's equal to this thing. So the next easiest step is to say AB equals KB.
Okay.
Whenever you have that situation where you have y equals one thing and y equals something else, make that one thing equal to something else and eliminate the y, just like I eliminated the c from this. Okay, now what can I do there?
Well, I don't really understand. I don't know. I'm kind of confused here.
Okay, they want to solve for k.
Right.
Well, I've got a b on both sides of my equation here. I can divide both sides by b.
Okay.
The only reason I know for sure I can do it is I know b is not 0, based on this statement here. If b were 0, I wouldn't be able to do this. But since b cannot be 0, I can basically take the b out, and now I have a equals k. Well, that's what they wanted to know, what k is equal to. A.
Okay.
So J would be the answer.
All right.
Okay? All right, let's go to the next page.
Also, or I don't know if this is accurate, but all the other answers had numbers in them. Like a minus 1. I don't really understand. Like, I feel like I would guess a because just, like, logically.
Well, yeah.
Like, a minus 1 makes no sense.
Okay, there's a certain logic to what you say, but there's no need for you to be guessing on this problem. Only because it's a relatively easy problem. I mean, they give you that and they give you that. So the leap you have to make is setting AB equal to KB. And once you do that, the next step is actually pretty straightforward. In other words, once I get this, that's really simple algebra to divide, to take out the B.
Right.
You're left with A equals K. So, all right. A circle with a circumference of 46 pi is divided evenly into 12 sectors. What is the total measure in degrees of 5 of those sectors? So I'm going to divide this thing up into 12 equal sectors. What's the measurement of any 5 of these? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. In other words, what's the measurement of that angle right there?
3 something?
Well, how many degrees are in the total circle?
Let's see. Or there's, there's 360.
Right. And what percentage of the circle are we talking about? What fraction?
Talking about 1/12.
Well, that would be, okay, how about 5/12?
Or 5/12.
In other words, 1/12 would give you the measurement of any sector, but then we'd have to multiply it by 5 to get the measurement of all 5 sectors. So we're really looking for 5/12 of 360. Well, that goes into there 30 times. 5 times 30 is 150 is our answer. Now, notice that 46 pi had nothing to do with anything. Why did they give it to us? To confuse you.
Right.
To make you think that it was important. It has nothing to do with anything. Don't need it. It would allow me to figure out the radius, but I don't need the radius of this circle. I just merely need to know that the whole circle is 360 degrees, and I'm dealing with 5/12 of it.
So we did 5/12 times 360.
Uh-huh. And the way I do this is I divide top and bottom by 12, giving me 30 up there. 5 times 30 is 150. Okay, 14. Tell me how you're going to do 14 after you read it.
14. Every day at 7:30 a.m. Get one school recreational students. The average number of students who entered the school through the main entrance. For this one, I want to say I would do the mean thing, where you add them up and then divide by 5.
That's correct. That's going to be the answer.
Okay.
Okay. Again, notice that neither their names have anything to do with anything. The fact that there's 2 of them counting don't have anything to do. It could have been Joe Blow. And 7:30 has nothing to do with anything. It's a straight average problem. Mean.
Okay.
You know how to do 15?
X minus X as solutions. Let's see.
Let me give you a problem. What is that solution? In fact, let me change the problem. What's the solution to this equation here?
0.
No. We set that equal to 0 and we set that equal to 0, which gives us a solution of what for x? If x plus 5 equals 0, what is x?
0. Oh wait, x plus 5. Oh, negative 5. I was thinking times 5.
Okay, and if x minus 7 equals 0, what is x?
Plus 7.
Okay, so you know how to do this. This is just the reverse of that. In other words, in this problem, they're giving you the answers. So they want to know, well, what is this for this problem?
Oh, okay. So then I think it would be 3, or A.
Yes. In other words, this would give you solutions of plus 6 and minus 3. They've merely given us the solutions first.
Okay. Do you know on the ACT, like you know how on the SAT you can skip a problem and it doesn't count against you? Is it like that on the ACT?
No, you always want to guess. You don't ever want to leave a problem unanswered.
So it will count against you?
It doesn't on the ACT. It currently does on the SAT, but they're changing that in 2016.
Right.
But even on the SAT, actually I might have them backwards, but it doesn't.
I know that if you don't do an answer on the SAT, it won't count you down. But if you get a wrong question, if you get a question wrong, then you get minus 1/4.
Right, but that's a good deal for you to always guess.
Right.
In other words, especially if you've got it narrowed down to only 3 answers. So as a general rule, always guess, whether you're taking the ACT or the SAT. I mean, it might be correct to not guess on the SAT if you don't have a clue between the 5 answers, but that would be the only time. And the ACT, I don't believe I think it's the SAT where they take off 1/4 per wrong.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so ACT, there's no penalty for guessing, and which means you got at least a 20% chance of getting it right by guessing, and you should always guess. You don't ever want to leave one unanswered. In fact, the way to take the ACT, there's 60 questions. You have 60 minutes. Go through it once, making sure you see all 60 problems with at least 10 minutes to spare. Don't be looking at problem 60 when there's 1 minute to go in the test.
Okay.
The reason is that you want to make sure you do the 40 easy and medium problems. If you don't get to the 20 hardest problems, that's okay. But you don't want to spend your time doing the 20 hardest problems and the 20 easiest problems and then not have time to do the 20 medium problems.
Right.
You want to make sure your time is most efficiently spent, which means making sure you do all the easy and medium problems. So the first time through the test, if you come across a real difficult problem, put a double check mark by it. If you come across just a regular difficult problem, put a single check mark by it. Then you get the problem 60 with 10 minutes to go. You got 10 minutes to go back, do all your single checked ones. If you still have time, go back and do your double checked ones, but make sure you guess at least for all of them.
Okay.
Don't run out of time totally with 5 problems that haven't been guessed at.
Right.
So be a little careful. In other words, the inclination would be to guess the first time through. You come across a hard problem, you know you're not going to be able to solve that problem second time or third time through, so let's just go ahead and guess the first time, and then I won't have to worry about running out of time without having guessed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
All right, good. So let's simplify this.
For all x.
So all they're asking you to do is remove the parentheses.
For all x. I don't understand what that means.
Well, you don't need to. That just means that no matter what x is, I can simplify this expression to what? When you remove the parentheses, what do you get?
Minus 2x minus 10.
No. Minus
2x minus
plus
20.
10. Plus 20.
Plus 20.
Minus 2 times the minus 10 is
10.
plus 20. Now simplify that.
So negative 2x plus 27.
That's the answer. And that's on there. Now,
Okay.
what it means for all x is that this is equal to this no matter what x is. No matter if x is a billion or 0 or 1 or anything. Those two expressions are equal. That's what for all x means. In other words, it's not just for certain x that this expression equals this expression. It's for any x. Hold on a moment. There we go. Wow, my computer's acting up here. There we go. If 60% of x equals 90, then what is x?
60% is 90. Oh, I'm so bad at this kind of stuff.
Well, let me suggest back solving it.
Okay.
Won't that work?
Yeah.
What does 60% of mean? What does 60% of x mean? The of means multiplication.
Okay.
And the 60% means 0.6. So 0.6 times x equals 90. So there's the equation we would write, and that's a relatively straightforward, simple equation to solve, especially with calculators. You just divide both sides by 0.6, and you get 150. But
okay, wait. So of means what? Multiplication. You said?
So that's the real trick here, is knowing what that means. But notice that if I didn't know how to set that up, as long as I knew that of meant multiplication, well, I can back solve it. Is 60% of 1,590? I don't think so. That's 900. Is 60% of 54? Well, 60% of 54 is going to be a number less than 54.
Right.
So
it can't be.
A, B, or C can't possibly be right. So the only two we really have to check are these two. Well, if I take 60% times 150, what do I get? 90. That means 150 is the right answer. Okay? So this technique of back solving is really a key one to understand. You basically pick an answer and then see if all of the statements that were made in the question fit that answer.
Okay. Cool.
This
one box of popcorn and one drink together is the price of 2 bucks. What is the cost of one drink?
This is a relatively hard word problem. Now, actually, it's a relatively easy one. But it's a word problem that's going to give us 2 equations and 2 unknowns. The 2 unknowns are going to be the price of the popcorn and the price of the drink. And I can put together 2 equations with both of those variables and solve them. However, that's pretty difficult to do. Can I back solve this?
Let's see. Not really, because you don't know the popcorn price.
Well, I can almost back solve it. I'm going to start with this one. That's not where I would start. I always am going to start with the second lowest or the second highest. But let's, for the sake of argument, start with F. So the cost of a drink, I'm saying, is equal to 75 cents. Well, if the cost of a drink is 75 cents, what's the cost of one popcorn?
Then popcorn is a lot. It's
from the first sentence, we can figure out the cost of that popcorn.
It'd be $4.35.
Okay. Now, does that make the price of 2 boxes of popcorn and 1 drink equal $8.35? Well, 2 boxes of popcorn is going to be $8.70 plus 1 drink plus 75 cents. No, it's too much. In other words, I just disproved F as an answer.
Okay.
Okay, you get it?
Yeah,
okay, so now let's take the next step. Let's check the next number. The drink is $1.85. What would that make the price of popcorn?
Make it $3.25.
And now, is 2 popcorns and 1 drink equal to $8.35?
No.
Yes.
Wait, 2 popcorns and 1 drink. Oh yeah, plus the 1.8. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I forgot to add the 1.85.
That means that's our answer.
Okay, yeah.
Now, why would I start with G or J always?
Because then you know if you need to go up or down.
Exactly. In this particular problem, when I started with F, I got too big of an answer, so I knew that the price of a drink had to be more than this. I knew which direction to go. Whenever you have a problem where you're going to know which direction to go, you don't want to start with the smallest. You don't want to start with the middle one. You want to start with either G or J. Because if I try G and it's not right, and I know I need a lower one, I'm done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I try G and it's not right because I need a higher number, I'm going to try J next. And after trying J, I will have my answer without doing any more work. I'll either know it has to be bigger, which means K, or it has to be smaller, which means H.
Right.
So this concept of going with the second low and the second high, either one works. And they will frequently reward, I've noticed, at least in these practice tests, that G is very frequently the answer. They're subtly rewarding people who are back solving it properly, who are starting with the right number. In other words,
Okay.
you'd want to start with G, and it so happens G is the right answer. All right, this problem, let's do this problem and end on it. At least if you still want to do just a half hour.
Yeah.
Read this carefully. This is a bit tricky.
Oh man.
So what's the total purchase?
The total purchase is $18 plus.
No, don't round it off. Multiply 2 times that number. What do you get?
You get 17.98.
Okay. Now we got a 7% tax. So I can either multiply this thing by 0.07 and add that tax to 1798, but the faster way to do it is to multiply that thing by 1.07. What do you get?
19.23.
Okay, there's some round.
23.8. Yeah. So
Right, there's round off errors. So that's really 1924. So now what's the answer?
How much do you need in coins if you want to have? You need to have 24 cents.
Good. Notice how easy it would be to misread this problem. If you read it real quick, it looks like it says you have a $20 bill. How much change is coming back?
Yeah.
Which is totally different.
The $20
If you had a
bill
$20 bill,
irrelevant.
you'd get, well, if you had a $20 bill, you'd get 76 cents change back. And they put that answer on there, the trap answer.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you have $21 bills mean you can actually give them 19 $1 bills and 24 cents in exact change. And they're asking what's the exact change you need, not how much change will you get back for $20. Okay?
Okay.
Good to
Yeah, I
go?
get that. It is kind of complicated, but
Yeah, you just got to be careful, really careful that you're reading these properly. That one is really, this is one that I bet you at least half the people miss it. And they'll miss it by answering 76 cents.
right.
All right, let's stop on 19 and we'll pick up next time we work on ACT with 20.
Okay. Sounds
Okay?
good.
All right, Thomas, have a good week. Talk to you next time.
Okay, thanks. You too.